Hello, my friends. Hello, my Facebook family. I'm here making another video today. Imagine that. I'm really here just to talk a little bit. I just got home from jail and I'm just having the time of my life. I'm just falling in love with these ladies over and over again. The new ones and the ones that I've known now, and then the ones that get out and come right back in. Those are my favorites. I get to love on them and hug the shame right off their faces, right off their bodies, and it is just my delight to be in there and be with these ladies while they're probably going through one of the hardest times in their lives, and I get to remind them of who they really, really are. And today was just amazing. I've already had a great week in jail. 2 jails already this week. I'm teaching a new class. I started it at the beginning of 2025. It's called the Love Class, and it's all about the love of God as I continue to understand the love of God, to try to grasp it here, what I know here, at least a little bit of it here, probably just a little percentage of what we really know about the love of God. The height, the width, the length, the depth. Oh my gosh, it's so marvelous. And so I'm studying a little bit, experiencing a lot of it, and then writing about it in a class called the Love Class, and writing about it in my book called the Agape Trilogy. But what a delight to be able to take in what I'm learning and be able to share it with these ladies. And I tell them, now this class is different. I'm not here to teach you, so to speak. In a way, I am. I'm not here to tell you how to believe or how to behave. I'm not here to tell you what to believe or what to do. I'm here to help you see that the eyes of your understanding would be illuminated, that you would actually begin to think for yourselves, because I figure that once we begin to think, then we can really experience this relationship on a personal level. It's so wonderful what God has done for the world. But I wanted to come and share some of my content. I'll probably post this in a YouTube video. A lot of people ask me, what do you teach the ladies when you go in? And I've written my own content for the past 8 years. I've never taught another book. I write books, and so I teach my own sometimes. And so I just want to share what the Lord, I don't know, is telling me and how I get to love on these ladies, because it's super easy and it's very fascinating to watch the lights come on. They're already on in there, but to watch them say, ah, okay. So, Love Class 101. This is week 1. This is back in January that I did this one. So far, I've got 4 weeks, with this week being my favorite overall so far, but I'll do that one in another video. And this is how it begins. God is love, right? Period. That's very easy. God is love, period. God so loved the world, period. Period. That he gave his only begotten son. Okay. 1 John 3:1 in the Mirror Bible says, "Consider the amazing love the Father lavished upon us. This is our defining moment. We began in the agape of God. The engineer of the universe is our Father." And that one phrase, we began in the agape love of God. Number one, though, if you dare to consider, there's that verse, consider the lilies. So consider the amazing love the Father has lavished upon us. Wow. We began in the agape of God. This is our defining moment. So what is love? Agape. What is agape? I had one of my friends, I showed her the front cover of my new book coming out at the end of 2025, the Agape Trilogy, and she said, "What is agape?" And I said, "That's agape." And it's actually 2 words put together that mean agopeo. It means to lead to rest. Like God's love is like a shepherd leading his sheep to rest, to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. So what is this love that leads us to rest? Think of it like a shepherd. Think of it like Simba from The Lion King, going to the water The water is crystal clear, still, calm, smooth, serene. He goes and looks at his reflection, and who does he see? His Father. His Father, because we're made in the image and likeness of God. He lives in us. In us. We look just like him. Everything he is, we are. That's why when Simba looked, he got his courage back. He got his identity back. His soul was restored. By the waters of reflection, my soul remembers who I am. Seeing his image and his likeness in the water, seeing God's face and his own face reminded him, whoa, I got what it takes, baby. I got what it takes to do this in me. So our soul restoration is so important there, but we only find it in effortlessly looking at the still small waters. We don't have to do anything to do it, to get it, you know? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I better calm down. All right. You're made in the image and likeness of love, and everything else that is not love is simply learned behavior. It is not the real you. So the question is, are you you yet? Have you seen your own reflection? And then today we even talked about it. You know, especially in jail, everything around these ladies is reminding them of what they have done and who they are not. Even the mirrors, it's not real glass back there. It is a metal that is a blurry self-image. They can't even see themselves clearly, which is the definition hamartia of sin, a distorted self-image. The water is rough in the pond. You cannot see yourself clearly. You can't see who you really are. So are you you yet, or are you still whatever people have told you you were or were not? You being in jail just shows that you have not met yourself yet. I'd like to introduce you to the real you, the you that God believes in. Remember Godfrey Birtle's song, Who Are Ya? Who are you? Do you know you are in I am and I am in you? That's the whole concept. Who are you? Who are you? Can you see your true self? I believe that love changes everything. Maybe you just need a little TLC and to believe in yourself again, and I'm here to help with that. The odds are not stacked against you. Remember, I'm talking to ladies in jail. All they see is charges, court dates, everything they're going to have to do to try to get back to good standing. Man, I remember that. I remember that hopelessness. The odds are not stacked against you. In fact, God is for you and nothing can be against you. Romans 8:28, meanwhile, we know that the love of God causes everything to mutually contribute to our advantage. His master plan is announced in our original identity. Remember, the resolve of God is to restore our original integrity, to restore our identity, to restore any place that we feel like we may have been separated, to restore union right here, because in truthfulness, we've never been separated. And then Romans 8:31. See, these are verses that these ladies have heard over and over again, but God knows what they really mean. I mean, you could kind of make it mean whatever you want it to mean. God is for us. This love of God is very much alive. I see everything anew in the light of this love. Everything visible and invisible is mutually contributing to our advantage. While some study warfare disadvantage, I've gone off the deep end of love, which causes me to see all things are working together for our good. Someone should study that. Somebody should study the power of love. The power of a love that can never be separated. Nothing can separate you from it. Well, oh, wait, it's me. I'm studying love. Is anyone else? Anybody else? Anybody else? You know, the truth of it is nobody really knows what we're talking about. Everybody's trying to tell everybody else what to do and how to believe, but the truth and the whole truth is deep inside of you. You really already know the way, and the hardest part is unlearning bad thoughts or untruth or patterns of truth that we've been taught over and over again since we were younger. You know, one thing that I've learned about the mirror translation is that it's a little controversial. Some people don't like me using it. Some people, ooh, I'll just leave it at that. But I realize that every single thing that we have about the Bible, even the pastor's sermon, is a translation. We have so many translations. I mean, my gosh, I don't even know how many there are. But then we have translations on top of translations, sermons, our parents' translations, our teachers' translations of the Bible, different sermons, podcasts. We have all these different translations. So what I did about 4 years ago is I took a step back. I got off social media. I stopped listening to sermons. I unfollowed all these big time major ministries, not because I was mad or angry, because I wanted to know the one and only capital G-O-D. I wanted to know love. I was tired of hearing everybody's opinions and translations, however good they may have been. I wanted to know for myself. So I pulled back. I stopped going to church. I actually ended up getting kicked out of church because I pulled back so far. I went from the front row literally to the back row. Nobody could figure out what was going on in me. I really didn't even know at the time. All I knew is that I was after something different than the front row or climbing this spiritual ladder in the church office, so to speak. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But I had to come out of other people's understanding of God to get to my own. And boy, I would always say that was life-changing for me, to know God for myself, and then to discover the Mirror Bible in the middle of this transformation that I was going through really helped me. But it didn't tell me what to believe. It helped me to think for myself, man. It helped me to think for myself. So the truth sets you free. The problem is we've trusted other people to tell us the truth, and they don't even know what the truth is. And then we get their subjective truth, which is filtered through their human experiences and their opinions. And the truth is, God is love, unconditional love. It's wholehearted love. Imagine a love so powerful that even principalities and dark forces are put to work for your good. He says that even things visible and invisible are mutually contributing to my advantage. And I love what my friend Teresa Mobley says from the Mirror Word Bible Study. She says, what if it all works out? And man, when I say that in the jail, these ladies, sometimes they immediately tear up and start crying when I say, what if it all works out? And it's not a question, it's the truth. What if this all works out? Is it a promise or isn't it a promise? Yeah. And I can look back over my life. I'm coming up on my 9-year anniversary of being set completely free from addiction and all kinds of other stuff that kind of goes along with that, and meeting the love of my life face to face and realizing we've always been in this relationship. It was just a one-sided relationship before. He was always watching out for me, protecting me, holding me, loving me, saying, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. And then all I did was say, whoa, dude, we're in this together. You've always been here. I'd like to be a part of this, Lord. I'd like to be a part of this relationship now. It's so wonderful. And so one of the best things that ever happened to me was actually getting addicted to drugs. I don't know anybody else who can really say that, but it honestly got me to where I am today. What if every single thing in your life works out for good? One of the best things that ever happened to me was going to jail 8 different times. Look, when I say that inside the jail to these ladies, they light up. what if this thing will actually, this thing, the darkest night of your soul, will actually work out for your freaking good, man? You know, my credentials now, my best credentials for me going to jail are ex-jailbird, ex-felon, ex-drug addict. Everything that caused me so much shame for 25 years in my past now is the glory. It's the glory. Who would have ever thought? Only God can do this. Only God can do this. Who would have ever thought that going to rehab and getting kicked out 4 times and then going back for a 5th time and hitting the jackpot would actually happen, that it would actually work out for my good? Who would have thought that that shameful mess would have actually turned into glory? I'm telling you, won't he do it? What if everything in your life that you feel is a failure will actually contribute for your good? This is what love does. Love has his best in mind for you. For you. What if Genesis 50:20 really is true? What if the enemy has been defeated? All right? The enemy has been defeated. And what if every single thing that the enemy meant for evil, that God will turn for good? I realize now, and I say this, the devil and all his minions were defeated. The only devil, the only diabolos, fallen mind, the only devil left is the one that you haven't told that he is defeated. And it's right here. It's right between our ears. Sometimes I think we're our own worst enemy. It's the way we think. So I tell the ladies, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to help you think. The battle really is right here. The devil really ain't after you. People, the ladies will come into jail all the time. I'm like, how are you doing today? The devil be after me, Miss Rachel. The devil be after me. I'm like, no, he's not. He's defeated. What's really going on? And a lot of times they're having an issue in there with another inmate who might be harassing them or who's on their nerves. And I'm like, girl, let's talk about it. What if everything works out for our good? So the question still remains, are you yet? Or are you your own worst enemy? Man, I'm understanding the power of love that it's limitless and nothing can separate us from this love. I am so excited to be able to share these videos. I'm going to keep posting. I've got 3 more weeks that I'll be posting on YouTube. And like I said, my favorite one was the one that I did today. I tell the ladies, I'm like, this is a round table class. If you have something to say, you can raise your hand. Some people have asked me, how do you do your classes? I have 2 different formats. I usually have notes that I put on paper like this, and then that way, if ladies, in one of my jails, I can hand out paper, and so I always make several copies of my notes because usually the ladies will ask for it, and that way I get to hand out the scripture in there too. If they don't have the Mirror Bible, then I'm able to type up scripture from the Amplified and the Mirror and put it in there. And then another format that I use in the jail that I went to today, I'm able to create a PowerPoint presentation. So I got it up on the big screen. I usually plug in my computer or something, and I take all kinds of pictures, and I'm able to display things so that these ladies can see it too. And I tell them, ask questions. This is not a one-sided discussion. And when they ask questions, I know that they're engaged. This is participation. The participation is my favorite. To see them asking questions, to know that they're engaged in what we're talking about. And then I say, I love to be interrupted. I love to be interrupted. Interrupt me, ask me questions. And I leave room in my notes for rabbit trails. Oh, let's go down a rabbit trail. I've gone down rabbit trails and I'm like, how did we even get here? I don't even know, but isn't it great? And then the ladies will say, man, I sure loved that conversation that we had last week. That was great. And I'm like, yeah, you guys got me in a little bit of trouble talking about that stuff. But I tend to stay away from behavior. Like when I go in, I rarely talk about their behavior, meaning what they have to do to change. I mostly talk about what God already has done for them and what God really believes about them. And sometimes the lights will come on and they're like, oh man, but then they want to ask questions. And I'm like, interrupt me. I love the interruptions. One of my friends said, oh, Rachel, the interruptions, that's probably something that needs to be cast out. You just need to cast that thing out. And I thought, no, I think they just want to ask questions. And I love the engagement. I love the answers. And sometimes I don't have all the answers. In fact, most of the time I don't have all the answers, but it sure is fun getting to know these ladies and hearing their hearts. And another thing is that I very, very seldomly correct them. If they're believing something, if they're convinced that God put them in jail for a reason, then I'm just going to let them believe that. I might try to tell them, well, you could think of it like this. Maybe your own issues landed you in jail, and here's where you met the Lord again, or help them kind of see things in a different way. But I hardly ever, I would say never, openly correct them because I just believe that the Spirit is alive on the inside, and spirit cannot, deception cannot compete with spirit resonance. Hello. I'm telling you, all the weight is off my shoulders, and I just get to enjoy these ladies. I get to bring in the good news. I get to bring in whatever I'm learning. Oh man, I can't wait to do another video. I'll post it on YouTube. This is so much fun. I'm having the time of my life, and thank you so much for listening to these. And I hope that it resonates. And thank you so much for helping me go to jail. I'm one happy little camper. I just love going to jail so much. And I love you all.